Sleigh bells ringing, diamonds blinging, carols singing.
Can I just cut through this? I'm using a box cutter. Should probably use a Dremel. What's up, doll collectors, hobbyists, fabs, and besties? I'm Toya, an adult doll collector. Welcome to my miniverse. So, remember when we found a dollhouse at Five Below for $25? That's over 3 feet tall and looks like it was made for Glam Squad dolls, which are $5 dolls that we can often find at Five Below. They are just about the same size as a Barbie, taller if the Barbie is standing with flat feet. So I bought the house to use with our dolls that I showed in our Five Below video. But in the video, I didn't put it together because I had plans for a little makeover. On the front of the box, we can see how it looks fully assembled. There are 3 floors, with the top floor having a slanted roof. But on the box, it looks like the pieces fit into each other. But that's not on the actual product. Instead, we get screws. And the back wall fits into a groove on each floor. The whole dollhouse has printed backgrounds. Here's a Barbie for scale standing with flat feet, so we get a decent amount of space above the doll's head. We have less than 9 inches of floor space, but the rooms are around 23 inches wide. But I think with a ceiling, it might make this space a little dark. We can add a few puck lights to solve that problem, but I want to do a little experimenting and see if we can separate the floors to get 3 room boxes for $25. Most of the pieces are separate, however, we will need to cut through the side walls. This is a composite wood. Can I just cut through this? I'm using a box cutter. I should probably use a Dremel, but it can be done! I cut the wall to 13 inches, and it seems to line up near perfect with the back wall. Sorry about this, but it's totally coming in handy when I need to point to something that's out of reach. So here is the first floor assembled with the side walls. I did cover the floor with contact paper in our Five Below video to cover the printed images, and that's what we're going to do with these back walls. But I was wondering, can we cut out a doorway? Since these rooms are less than 9 inches deep, I'm probably not going to put a ton of furniture in them, but I'm curious to see if we can add a doorway. So I plan where I want it to go, then carefully cut it out. Caution, using a box cutter can be dangerous. You've been warned. I made a doorway that's about 5 inches wide. I left a small strip at the bottom to fit into the floor. I'm going to cover it with the same contact paper we used on the floor, then cover the walls with a solid contact paper to cover the printed background. I covered both sides of the board, then cover the 2 side walls. Then let's take the included hardware and use it to put the sides together. I'm using my screwdriver from home. I found it a little easier. And from personal experience, when attaching the walls, make sure they don't wobble. If the wall leans too far over with the screw in place, then this composite wood could split, so be careful. After the side wall is attached, I carefully place the back wall into the grooves, then attach the other side. The contact paper could create a little bulk, so you might want to trim it to make sure everything fits. My paper bunched a little in the corner, but we can use this crown molding trim from Michael's to cover it. This was $3.99. There were ones that were painted and ones that were unpainted. They are about 18 inches long and we get 4 in a pack. So I cut them and glue them into the room. I'm using miter shears to cut through the wood and to cut the corners at a 45-degree angle, then glue them in place. I used tacky glue and it dried clear, then I just touch up the white paint where needed. Let's make a frame around the door. I have some balsa wood lying around. It's like 1/8 of an inch, which is kind of thin, but we could just glue 2 together because I am a firm believer in trying to use what you got. Once dried, measure and cut them to fit inside the door. I paint them white. I applied 2 coats. And I painted a few thin strips as well. While waiting for them to dry, let's cut the other walls and start on the second floor. I'm going to make this one a regular box, so let's cover it with the contact paper. When covering the floor of the second floor, underneath would have been the ceiling of the first floor. I'm hoping that I'll be able to stack these boxes later, so I'm going to cover this white. This paper has a little bit of a gloss to it, but I don't think it'll matter. Then I flip it over and cover the other side. Now I can put the room together, and I did remove the contact paper in the areas where they will connect. And I'm applying tacky glue, so we have some really good contact. I attached the sides with screws as well, and now we just need to let it dry. Back on the first floor, it's time to glue in our door frame. I use more tacky glue to glue the wood inside of the opening, and it's looking pretty decent. But let's take those thinner strips and glue them around the edge to make the door frame a little wider. And I place the room from the other floor behind it, and it totally looks like the dolls can go from one room to the other, which I totally love. And we can get a lot of light in since there's no ceiling. But if we want the option of stacking them for storage, that looks doable as well. But those are some thin walls just stacked on top of each other. So let's add more of that Michael's crown molding around the top. Making those cuts on the crown molding can be a little tricky. So another option could be to use square wooden dowels. I found these at Michael's. And then we could just keep all of our cuts flat. But if you are good at cutting these 45-degree angles, then awesome. I have found them to be a little challenging, so I have to do a little cleanup work. But after a little paint, I think our new box room is good to go. For the top floor of the dollhouse, I'm only going to add one of the side walls. This room is shorter with a slanted roof, and it was designed to have a small balcony. But I'm only going to use one side wall, the back wall, the floor, 2 corner pieces, and one side of the roof, and maybe some square wooden dowels. I cover everything with contact paper, then assemble, attach half of the roof, then I cut a few wooden dowels and glue them together to make a frame. I paint it white. While drying, let's take the smaller pieces for the balcony and cover them with contact paper that looks like concrete. I cover that part of the floor as well, then attach the half walls. I have a small gap here, so I just cut a piece of wood to glue onto the end. Then take the frame that we made, glue on clear plastic from packaging, then glue it into the room right at the end of the wooden floor. Let's add a little crown molding between the wall and the ceiling to make a room that looks like it has a glass door leading to a small balcony. We can stack it on top of one of the other rooms to turn this $25 dollhouse into 3 stackable rooms, where we can choose the layout of this house. I like that we still have the option of stacking them, but if we need more light, we can just remove the floor right above and we're ready to go. Now these rooms are not very deep, so I'm thinking maybe a rug, a chair like our Togo chair. Maybe we can take some giant craft sticks, cut and glue them together to make a quick bookcase where we can display our miniature collections like mini brands. And I wonder if our magnets will work on these walls. So let's take one of our dollhouse paintings, add a few magnets onto the back, then place it onto the wall with another magnet on the other side, and yeah, it seems to be working. Let's add the plant stand that we made by giving a My Mini Baby high chair a little makeover, and the plant from the Bee Sparked Advent Calendar to give our room a touch of greenery. We are going to have fun decorating this space. I love this miniature veiled lady statue from Michael's, and I'm seeing that even though these rooms are small, I think we can totally decorate them and have some fun with the dolls. And I think we could add a kitchen, but we'll have to do that next time. But I do see a gap on my bookcase, so maybe we should open some mini brands to add a little clutter. I still haven't found that teacup, so let's see if we're getting it today. There's the teacup. Here's our 4 bags, and in the first bag, we have Sense and Sensibility. love this, but I already have it. But if we're trying to fill the shelves, then doubles are okay. Ooh, we got Sherlock Holmes, which is a nice book. It takes up a lot of space. And then we got James and the Giant Peach and a Dracula bookmark. And in the last bag, oh yes, I think this is the cup. And yes, it is. It's a pretty wide teacup with a saucer. And it looks like the dolls can totally hold it. Overall, I am pretty happy with this dollhouse makeover. We went from printed walls to solid walls, so we can decorate this space how we want. And I think these walls could use a little more artwork. So keep an eye out for upcoming MyFroggyStuff videos. Thank you for joining us while we gave this Five Below house a little makeover and turned it into 3 separate but still stackable doll rooms. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to ring the bell and follow us on Instagram and YouTube at MyFroggyStuff and Bella of MyFroggyStuff on Instagram. And we will see you next time. Bye!